Hey guys, John Arcana here, back with another video. Welcome back. This is a MLPCCG unboxing. That's right, I believe it's set 12. It's been a while since I followed the MLPCCG, but before we get into the unboxing of all the cards, where am I on the MLPCCG? So it's been like forever since I've done a MLPCCG video, and it's like I've only been doing the unboxing. The last time I did an MLPCCG video was definitely when I unboxed set 11. Now, where am I kind of on the MLPCCG? I have moved into more of a collector of the new sets rather than an actual player. So let's go ahead and jump right into this unboxing, because I doubt you came to this video to listen to me go on a tangent about how and where I've been on the game or whatever. So let's go ahead and actually unbox this. So this is, once again, from Databyte. He goes ahead and prints the print and play sets, and I make sure that I order every new set that comes out, just to show that I still support the game even while making my own game, the Pony Wars CCG. So once again, I have my trusty Swiss Army knife here. So we're going to go ahead and open this now. Instead of inserting the Twilight Be Careful with Knives video this time, I'm just going to say, be careful with knives, guys. Just be very, very careful with it. So let's go ahead and get started. So I don't want to damage the cards, so we're just going to, I'm going to turn the knife a little bit. Let's see if I can show this. See how the blade is facing away from the cards? And we're just going to cut it just like that. From then on, I can use my fingers. So, okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So you guys may have noticed that a lot of my content recently has been very video game related, and I have not been doing a lot of MLP stuff. The reason for this is, well, there's something that we should probably approach first. So apparently there are some shinies here. I had heard that these were going to be included, but I wasn't sure. I thought that, I wasn't going to be getting them, but the way this is packaged is really weird. Let's just start pulling cards out. Maybe that'll be easier. Gonna set these off to the side here. Just make sure that they're, still in the same order. There's kind of like this duct tape, as you can see. So let's try and get that out. Okay, I'm just going to pull them out. Okay, so let's go over the shinies first, because, that's always more important. So, actually, I'll save the shinies for the end of the video, so that way you guys stick around to see the actual ending. Once again, I'm going to try and stack these the way that they were stacked properly. So, let's go ahead and set that like this. Making sure not to mess up the order here. Okay, there we go. Out of the packaging. So this stack goes like this. That card should go there. This goes here. Alright, there we go. We have our stack of cards. As you can see, we're going to start off with, so we have our scorecards here. As you can see, they're going to be double-sided like before. So there you go. There's the scorecards. This camera's not the best, but so there you go. Alright, so starting off, we got the tokens. So let's go ahead and look through these tokens. Now, it looks like that there aren't as many tokens as last time. He might not have gotten a lot of them printed. Well, let's see. We got a Changeling token. Oh my god, it's an Ocellus Changeling token, full art. I love it. So we got several Changeling tokens here. We got token copies, because that's a thing. Another token copy. Changeling, a token copy. Now I like this one. This is a cool little Thorax token. A Figment. Token copy Starlight. And another Figment token. Token copy, a rock token of Maud's boyfriend, Mudbriar. Token copy, another rock, because you know rocks. A Pegasus. That's really cool. That's a DJ and a Octavia. And then we got another Pegasus token, this time a full. This is my new favorite Figment. It's Twilight Sparkle Tree of Harmony. Pegasus, Figment. Now, that's awesome. That's a derpy Pegasus full art. I love it. More Pegasus. A Critter. Okay. Unicorn. More Critter. And that is a Trixie Unicorn token. I'm not the hugest fan of Trixie, as many of you may know about me, but so just keep going through. Ooh, a Bonbon Earth Pony. Now that's original. I like that. So I'm not the hugest fan of the tokens this time around, but all in all, pretty good. They're pretty good. So, okay, let's go ahead and jump into the actual cards here. So start us off. Let's see. Let's start off. What's the first card we got? So this is, I had heard that they had to reprint Grogar. So we're all getting 3 ultra rare Grogars. I believe they had to change its ability because they had to ban the other version of Grogar. Next up we have, I had heard that they had to reprint the Fluttershy that they had. The reason was because it had broken the game. So, you know, we're getting the replacements here right off the bat. Those were 2 cards that had to be reprinted. So now we're getting into the new stuff. So we got a Troublemaker called Legion of Doom. So I'll read this to you. At the start of your turn, put a fear counter on an opponent's main character, then frighten an opposing friend here. Opponents have -1 power during face-offs for each fear counter on their main character. When this card leaves play or is turned face down, remove 3 fear counters from each opposing main character. So while this Troublemaker is in play, it weakens the opposing main character. And the longer that it stays in play, the more devastating to the main character that it is. If this thing survives something like 4 or 5 turns, then, you know, that's -5 power, but when it leaves, it loses 3 fear counters, which means that, you know, you're still having 2 fear counters on the main character. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. The next card is a Luster Dawn. So we're getting a Luster Dawn Ultra Rare, which is cool. I'm a huge fan of not Luster Dawn. But she's the new purple, I guess, thing. When you confront this card's problem for the first time this turn, you may exhaust your main character here. If you do, after this confront step, there is an additional confront step at this problem. When you confront this card's problem, this card gets +2 power until end of turn. So, this is an attempt to give control decks more speed than what they initially had. And she's really cheap. Also, she's entry. She's entry, which is stupid. This will give purple-blue decks a lot of power, and I'm interested to see how that comes out. Okay, next up we got a zero-cost card. Okay, so zero-cost cards are cool, but I don't usually... So play on a friend. That friend has competitive 1 and is a cheerleader in addition to its other traits. So I had heard that this set had a lot to do with the traits and taking advantage of that. So we'll see as we go through. We got Rushed Makeover. which is choose a color. One of your characters has that color until the end of turn. So this is like the old makeover. You may pay one less to play your next card this turn, whose play requirement includes the chosen color. This could be really good for farming, though it's only 3 power. So it's a way to keep, farming maybe in action or whatever. We got a colorless card that costs 8. Whoa, it costs 8. You may pay 1 less to play this card for each of your token friends. At the start of your turn, choose one of your token friends, put a token copy of that friend into play. So, token decks could probably take advantage of this. And you can actually probably stack other cards on top of it. Like I said, I'm really out of date with the game, so I wouldn't know the best combinations. Now, here's an ultra rare that costs 8. That's a lot. No, it doesn't cost 8. It costs 6. If you control a Pinkie Pie character, score a point. Repeat this process for Rainbow Dash, Applejack, Fluttershy, Twilight Sparkle, and Rarity. So if you have all of the characters, all the main 6, you can score 6 points in one go. That is ridiculous. That'll be interesting to see what kind of decks come out of that. Next up, it's just another copy of the new Ultra Rare TM. So it seems like that they're planning that. Now here's one. It costs 1, has 6 power, and it's Grogar's Bell. Play to your home. When you flip a card, you may banish that card to beneath this card. Exhaust this card to choose a card banished this way until end of turn. You may spend a number of other cards from beneath this card equal to the chosen card's cost to play the chosen card for free. So that's interesting. That'll be interesting to see what that does. Honestly, I would just run this in a farming deck just to play Troublemakers with it. So, next up is Mind's Palace. It's another ultra rare. This one's orange. Play to your home. As an opponent plays a card, you may pay 1 and banish this card. If you do, search that opponent's hand, deck, and discard pile for any number of cards with the same name as that card and banish them. That is strong. That is very, very strong. This is a very strong card. So next up we got Sanctuary Scuffle. So once again, yellow, ultra rare. Choose one. Put all friends with printed power 2 or less into their owner's hand, or put all friends with printed power 3 or more into their owner's hand. Wow. Okay, that is strong. I don't even want to look at that. That's broken. Okay, we're getting a Pinkie Pie triple color. Okay. Hasty. At the start of your turn, choose an opposing friend, resource, and troublemaker. Then for each card chosen this way, choose one of the following at random. Do nothing. That card loses and can't gain abilities until the end of turn. Dismiss that card or put that card in its owner's hand. Interesting. Good for random decks. Maybe with Sea Poppy, this could be decent. 3-color Sea Poppy deck. Let's do it. Oh, here's one. Now this one is in a lot of colors that I really like. So let's take a look at this. It's called Legion of Doom, Frightful Foes. Blue, purple, white. You may pay 1 less to play this card for each frightened opposing friend. Oh, that would go really good with Midnight. Luna. Princess Luna Midnight. Exhaust this card to dismiss a frightened friend. At the end of your turn, if an opponent has at least 3 frightened friends, you may pay 1 to score a point. That's pretty good. Honestly, it could make Frighten a new thing. There could be now a Frighten control deck. That would combo well with Princess Midnight. Now, I'd read somewhere about this one. Starlight, Glimmer, and Chrysalis. 1 left standing. Your starting problem bonuses are increased by 1. Players need +2 to confront your non-starting problems. So I imagined this card in a blue-white deck that literally just ran nothing but starting problems, and basically you put this card into play and you just rapidly score. because the starting bonus problems are usually one, or one of them's like two. Pearl Heist is 2, so you could really speed up the scoring with this, and it's only in one color, which is nice. This combined with the purple, a white, purple, blue deck would be ferocious right now, which actually also allows you to run this. So I can see that triple color being really good. More Luster Dawns, because Luster Dawn is OP. This card is OP. Okay, now we're getting a pink ultra rare. Discord. When you play this card, search your problem deck for a card and put it on top of your problem deck. Pay 1 and banish this card to replace this card's problem. So this could be really, really good if you need to replace a card's problem. I don't see the first effect being good, but the second one is an immediate. So you can basically just say, I need to replace this problem now because you're about to win it. So I could just drop this and be like, no, you're not confronting that. It's basically a better version of bait and switch. And now we have the blue ultra rare. So let's look at this. This is Daring Do, challenge accepted. When a player confronts a problem, this card isn't at that problem, you may move this card. That's any player. That includes you. Immediate. Pay 1 to give this card competitive 2 until the end of the turn. So, basically, this is really good to basically just say, hey, I'm going to confront this problem. And basically you could say, okay, I use this to confront this problem. Now I'm going to confront that problem. No, it wouldn't really work that way. It basically allows you to, it just says you may move this card. It doesn't say to that problem. So, basically, you can use it at one problem, use it to confront that problem, and then confront another problem, move this to another problem, and say, I confront this problem. So you can confront multiple problems back to back. Now we're getting, we have a main. Let's see. So it's got a home limit of 4. Its boosted side is 1 power. And its starting side is 1 power. Wait, why is it a double boosted? I want to have words with Databyte about this. Because this card, I think, was misprinted. This is a misprint. So, set that off to the side, because that's a misprint. Okay, now we're getting into problems. Maybe the mains will be later on. We got Under the Weather. While none of your characters have a color other than orange, opposing characters can't ready unless their controller pays 1. That is ridiculously good on the control, but it's only good in single color decks, and single color decks are oftentimes not very efficient. Then we got this one, another Under the Weather. So he usually gives us 2 of each of the starting problems. At the start of your turn, if none of your characters have a color other than blue, you may move one of your characters at home. So this is a decently good blue starting problem, and it's only 5 to confront. And of course, another set of them. Alright, next up is the white one, which is starting problem. When you play a non-friend card, if none of your characters have a color other than white, you may have one of your characters get +2 power. I'm not too excited about this one. You know, they are starting problems, but they're not like a trading traditions or anything. Standing up for yourself. While you have only one character here, that character can't be moved or frightened, which is really nice. Prevention of control is very good. And that's another copy. Okay, let's see. Here we go. A pink problem. Your opponents need +1 to confront this problem for each card in their hand. This can get really ridiculous in stopping your opponent from confronting. Even though it only requires you to have 4 pink, this could really definitely prevent your opponent from solving this problem, because a lot of times you're going to have a lot of cards in your hand, and it's just going to make this really hard to confront, which it could be broken depending on how you have it set up. Next up, we got prospecting interruption. Opponents don't score points from confronting this problem. So this could be really good in a control deck, and it's in white, so it's in one of the better control colors. Alright, next up, we got another pink problem, party science. So while none of your characters have a color other than pink, you may pay one less to play your first pink friend each turn to a minimum of 1. That is really, really good. So instead of just going through all of these cards, which there's a lot in each set, we're just going to start speeding through this. We're going to look at the starting problems because at least those are interesting. While none of your characters have a color other than yellow, opponents can't play troublemakers here. That is really good against farm. That's your anti-farm starting problem. Basically stop them from doing the double troublemaker technique. Now this one's actually ridiculous, so I'm going to read it. When you confront this problem, if it is the first time this problem has been confronted this game, score this problem's bonus. Oh gosh. Combine this with Rarity Outrageous, and it's no, just no. Actually, combine this with Rarity Outrageous and that new Luster Dawn. It would be so stupid. That'd be so dumb. Basically, what that would allow you to do is you would confront it, right? You would score 2. You would send Rarity Outrageous home to score 2 more. Then Luster Dawn would, trigger the confront again, and then you play a card like an immediate that just moves Rarity back up to confront it again to basically send it home. And basically you would score something like 8 points in one turn. You'd be at 8 on turn 2 if this showed up. You could make a really ridiculous aggro deck out of that, I swear. So that's a good blue problem. I would run that in a blue deck. Here's the purple starting problem. If an opponent would score points for defeating a troublemaker while none of your characters have a color other than purple, they score 1 fewer points instead to a minimum of 0. It's not that good. It stops troublemakers, but honestly, purple's more often going to be a troublemaker deck, I guess. Here's one. This is ridiculous. Pay 3 to score a point. Activate this ability no more than once per turn. So, I would run this in a purple deck. In my Alicorn purple deck. Just to be like, I'm going to pay 3 because I have a ridiculous amount of action tokens. So, I'll pay 3, score a point every turn. It's basically a better version of Changeling Throne. Basically a Changeling Throne. I can imagine a purple, blue, white deck just being all about scoring points now. Which, it'd be crazy if purple, blue is the new aggro. Okay, when this card enters problem, name a trait. Your characters have that trait and have +1 power. That'd be ridiculous. So, you can name Alicorn. And then all your characters have Alicorn, but then there's cards that say Alicorns get X plus power or whatever. So those decks are definitely becoming stronger, and I definitely will have to see how I play it out. Okay, we got a troublemaker here. I'm just going to start speeding through this and just show you guys the cards. They have all the cards up online, so this is just to speed it along. This is an SR, so at the start of a face-off involving this card, you may put a card from your discard pile on top of your deck. Opponents must challenge this troublemaker during their troublemaker phase if they have at least 1 character here. I don't know the point of that last part, but maybe someone else in the community has an answer. We got Grogar helping himself, and it's just a common. We'll skip over it. Cozy Glow, another Cozy Glow card. Cozy Glow Troublemaker. So there's that. We got Changeling Distraction as a troublemaker. Floofy made it into the game. And then we got Wishing Power, a purple-white card that basically allows you to copy events. Once again, you know, you got to actually read the cards. I'm just trying to skip through this. A blue-white card that gives that friend experienced, which is gains power equal to the number in your discard. This is okay. The Truth Talisman. Now we got Dilemmas. When you play this card, each player sets their action tokens to 2. Basically, a on-demand, uneven ground. We got Stained Glass Tribute. So this basically allows you to play a banished, basically stop a problem from disappearing, and then it comes into play as a dilemma instead. School of Friendship is a 1-drop. Pay 1, exhaust this card to choose a color. Your friends with that color have +1 power. That's not super good. So this is interesting. During your opponent's turn, you have 2 fewer points to a minimum of 0. So I don't know how this would work. I'd have to ask someone in the community. But I imagine it could get really ridiculous. Unity is one of the new ones. When an opposing unity, so when you have 7 orange power, when an opposing problem leaves play, you may exhaust an opposing friend. That friend doesn't ready during his controller's ready step. So this game is starting to favor things with Unity. I'd have to actually go through and do like a lot of deck building, but so this is basically, you know, when an opposing friend enters play, frighten it unless its controller pays 1. So, you know, this stuff enters play frightened. I know a few people who would like that. Here's an SR. Play to your home. Friends in your hand you may play this card as though it has hasty by paying 1 as an additional cost to play it. So basically everything gets hasty, which can be really good. Pink Blue for the longest time has been one of the better aggro decks. Basically you pay 1 less to play your friends. Once again, you'll have to read the cards. I'm just trying to skip through these because I don't have a lot of time. As you guys know, I'm pretty busy. So your friend has competitive 1 and, oh yeah, we already looked at that, cheerleader outfit. So then we got more dilemmas. This basically is an orange dilemma where your friends can't be frightened. Honestly, I would just, for anything that can't be frightened, I would just run a Twilight. The tricorn Twilight, I would just run that instead. It's more efficient for stopping frighten. Basically a 0 cost that forces your opponent to pay more as an immediate. Some of the new events are really good, so I would definitely check it out. I actually have to, you know, read up and see, you know, what all has changed. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it, but I'm really out of date with the game. So here's one of the tricolor events. Choose 1 opposing cards don't ready during the controller's next ready phase. Draw cards until you reach or exceed your maximum hand size, or opponents can't spend action tokens this turn. So this is a good way to stop cards from interrupting your combos, if combo is still a thing. This is a good control card that's purple-orange. Basically more bounce stuff for yellow. More tokens for pink. The game has really become like colors are specialized in a certain area, and that's what they're going to be used for. Purple has always been high cost, but kind of does the same thing a little bit that yellow does. But oh, that's rushed makeover. Here we go, a blue-yellow card, Royal Cheering Voice. Okay, let's read this. Put one of your friends into its owner's hand. You may pay 2 less to play your next friend with that card's name this turn. So, basically, you could bounce one of your own cards. It could be like a 1-drop Rainbow Dash. You know, from Marks in Time, the 1-drop Rainbow Dash. And just say, I play a different Rainbow Dash that costs 2 less. Because it says name, not title. This one's interesting. For one, you ready one of your characters, which could be really good. Actually, that could be... I wouldn't run it for AT Gen, because you're basically exhausting it to... basically, you're still getting 1 AT out of it. But you could use it for Midnight Luna, for example, to frighten 2 cards in 1 turn. So, I'm interested to see how that's going to play. This one's immediate move an opposing character. If you play this card during your main phase, you may move 2 opposing characters instead. So, just more forced movement for purple. Yeah, these are all common, so I'm just going to skip through them. This one's interesting. Last minute changes. Immediate for 2 AT. You may pay 2 less to play your next friend this turn. You may pay 2 less to play your next event this turn. So basically you can play 2 cards for 2 less, which could be really good. So for 2 AT you get 2 free cards out of it. So some of the events in this set I'm a little bit more excited about than the previous set. The previous set I was kind of like, not really for me, but this set is looking a lot better. It's definitely more interesting than, you know, what I've seen. I'm actually kind of excited to see where things go, but once again, I'm probably not... this one's interesting. So, Friendship Summon. Search your deck for a friend with Applejack, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, or Twilight Sparkle in its name. Reveal that friend and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So, that combined with the Marks in Time friends, which, you know, are all 1 AT to play, and then you use that Ultra Rare that scores you 6 points. So, it would be a combo deck where you would play, for 1 AT, all of the, you know, the basically the fillies, and then basically you just say, okay, I dropped this 6-drop AT generator, this 6th card, I score 6 points, oh, I'll play another one of those, and then another, boom, win the game, kind of thing. So, you know, there's a lot you can do with that. So that's, you know, a lot of these events are kind of interesting. So you can, this is basically more resource removal. Resources are not efficient anymore. They're just, you know, there's so much resource removal now in the game that I wouldn't want to run resources, a resource stack. I mean, I would still run the color entry ones, because here's another triple color. This is the blue, purple, white. Choose one. Move each of your characters at home to the same problem. Players can't win face-offs until the start of your next turn or gain control of an opposing friend. So this would go really, really well with Luster Dawn. So, like I said, I'm just, you know, going through them pretty quick. So here's a colorless Griffin, apparently. So this card, basically, you choose a color. It is that color. It's basically a 2/2 color entry. It's basically Kevin, except slightly better. This one... Oh, I read that already. So here we go. We're into the dual colors now. I've never been a huge fan of the yellow-white. This one's interesting. Celestia and Luna, Coronation Conductors. Harmony Alicorn. Oh, I love it. It's Harmony Alicorn! When this or another one of your Alicorn friend enters play, look at the top card of your deck. If that card is an Alicorn friend, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it on the top or bottom of your deck. Really good for my Alicorn deck. Basically, search out your Alicorns when you play an Alicorn. And then we have another purple, yellow. Basically, during face-offs involving this card, opponents ignore their flip cards with 4 or more power. That's really good. I might actually run that in my Alicorn deck. Which would be Harmony because it needs Day Shift to operate. So, basically good with songs. Pink, yellow, a combination I don't use a lot. My Alicorn deck is already, like, super efficient or whatever, so, you know, I wouldn't, I don't normally would, you know, try to update it or whatever. Okay, this is a pink-purple card. When you play this card, choose another friend, put a token copy of that friend into play. You know, it's just simple token generation. Basically, it's going to get ridiculous either way. It's basically the same thing as duplicate copy, except it copies a friend and not copies every token. Yeah. Like I said, you know, so this is a 2 for orange, purple. When an opposing character becomes exhausted, you may exhaust this card to move that character. I wouldn't run that, even though it's technically entry. I would prefer a factory jack or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the Harmony decks, you know, change their play styles or whatever. Like I've said, I don't play the meta anymore, so... This one has Hasty. When you win a face-off involving this card, you may retire one of your Pegasus friends here to score a point. I mean, that'd be really cool. There's a couple Pegasi that, you know, you make a bunch of Pegasus tokens, and you could use the tokens to basically get rid of them to score a point. Blue-white, which definitely is looking to be very strong this set. When you play this card, choose one of your friends, and an opponent chooses one of their friends. Start a face-off involving those friends. So basically, the big ability here is players can't play cards or activate abilities during the face-offs started by this card. That could get really ridiculous with a lot of combos. Here we go, a blue-purple. Meticulous 1. When you put a card on top of your deck, you may move this card. I love this card. I love it. Blue-purple is definitely looking very, very, very powerful. I'll be interested to see. Another blue-pink. When you discard a card for the first time each turn, you may move this card. Good for a hand destruction deck of your own accord. Basically standard blue-orange power counter build. More blue-orange for power counters. It's basically more power counters. Blue-orange is very good. We got another Yona cheerleader this time. When this card enters play, if you have a cheerleader friend with a different name, you may dismiss a resource. We got a Trixie. We got Sanctuary Patience. Okay, basically critters, critter tokens. Hey, we finally got Sea Ponies back. Finally. A yellow Sea Pony, which could be interesting. Queen Nova. Here we go. SR Princess Celestia. Because I run Alicorns, I want to read this. Persistent, so that's really good that it has persistent. At the start of a face-off, you may choose one of your characters involved in the face-off. If you do, that character is no longer involved in the face-off, and this card becomes involved in the face-off. So, if you're in the middle of a face-off and this is at home, it basically removes, say, a 2-power friend, and then it just drops a 4-power into the face-off. It requires some strategy to build up. Once again, not super efficient. So this card is really good. It boosts up your home limit, basically, and that's really good if you don't know. And then we got Fluttershy, basically critters. Fluttershy, it's kind of whatever. This is, just more commons. This is to boost, this card here just boosts itself while at a problem. Here we go, a Thorax white card. So it basically is a 1-drop, basically color entry for white. I'm noticing that a lot of the color entry now has no color requirement, which means that getting colors in play is going to be a lot easier. So decks that run multiple colors, anywhere between 4 to 5, are going to be far more efficient. Like, I'm already thinking of throwing that Luster Dawn into my Alicorn deck, because that deck likes to confront 1 problem per turn anyways. And, it does like the DFO as well. So, I'll just have to see, what changes I can make. A Queen Chrysalis card that just says showy. Not super. A Ferrex, basically showy. Showy is one of the worst keywords in the game, honestly. It's not super efficient. Unless you have a lot of it. So, Miss Main. I'm glad to see that we're getting another Miss Main card. A 0-cost Alizodal white card. Okay, it's got 1 power. Chaos, when this card is flipped, if you have fewer points than an opponent, score a point. That's really good. That's a good Chaos ability. As an additional cost to play this card, pay 1 for every 2 points you have rounded down. This card has +1 power for every 2 points you have rounded down. So the more points you have, the better it is when it's in play. Here we go. Here we go. This is an Alicorn Dragon combo. It's a 5-cost, 4-color rec, 5 power. So kind of efficient. It says Meticulous 2. So that's already really good. Prepared. I like it. And then we got once on each of your turns, you may play an event from an opponent's discard pile, ignoring that card's play requirements. If you do, and that card would be put into its owner's discard pile, banish that card instead. So you could play your opponent's events. I would just play it because of the Meticulous 2 and Prepared, honestly, and the fact that it's a 5-power Alicorn in 1 color. Tempest Shadow, basically Prepared. If you have 8 purple power, when you have 10, when you play an event, you may exhaust this card to move an opposing character. I don't like. Here we go. Here's a possible card. Now this is to bring back Studious. If you don't know what Studious is, it basically doesn't stack with other Studious. You may gain action tokens from your characters with Studious more than once per face-off. So this makes all the previous Studious cards really good. I might actually start using that Princess Luna that has Studious as my Alicorn main. Honestly, my Alicorn deck runs Tempest Shadow because it's just the easiest to boost. Your other friends here have Studious. That's cool. Combined with that last one, it's good. At the start of face-off here, put a 2-power Figment token into play. Pretty good. We got another Alicorn card that I need to look at. At the start of your turn, gain 1. Okay, that's really good. Unity 15. So you have 15 purple power, which in an Alicorn deck is really easy to get. Opponents must pay +1 to take an action to draw a card, move one of their characters, and rally one of their friends, or play a Troublemaker. I'm going to run this in my Alicorn deck. Because movement is already being taxed by my Princess Midnight, this would just make the taxation even worse. The deck, basically, its strength comes from not allowing its opponent to basically do anything. Princess Luna. Now, Luna is my favorite character. I'm glad she has a card this set. Lunar Warden. When a player plays an event, you may put +1 power counter on one of your Troublemakers. Immediate. Remove 2 +1 power counters from one of your Troublemakers to put a 2 power Figment token into play. Luna's getting more, more Figment. If she doesn't, there's a bunch of Lunas that produce Figment tokens. Ocellus. When this card enters play, if you have a cheerleader friend with a different name, more like purple, I wouldn't run it as a Troublemaker necessarily unless I was farming. Cozy Glow, if you would put a non-chaotic flipped card on the bottom of your deck, you may put it on the top of your deck instead. I wouldn't know, how good that is. Here's a 1 power, 1 drop. So that's kind of meh. Now we're getting into the pinks. So this card lets basically Draw Engine. Somnambula is Draw Engine. Silver Stream. We got another Derpy. So it's just more Derpy Dismissal. If you don't know, a lot of Derpy cards are all about Dismissal. So, I have a couple deck ideas. It's just I don't play enough to really, see what I'd want to play. A Gabby that's a 4-drop for 4 power hasty. So this is actually really decent, especially for color entry. 4 power for 4 power is actually a lot better than people think, but, basically eccentric. Basically the 1-drops seem to all do the same thing. So this is basically a mill card, this Spike, playing the odds. It's a mill card, just hands down. So mill might actually become now finally a viable strategy in Harmony. Rockhoof, basically resource protection, more power. Orange is always about power and basically exhausting. And let's see, we got a new Ember. Same as all the other 1-drops, basically. So this is Big Mac and Sugar Bell. It's a 5. It's basically a duplicate of that purple Twilight or whatever. Though it has a different ability. While you control a friend with cost 4 or more, you may pay 4 less to play this card. So it's basically just a really easy drop-in. I don't understand the purpose behind this card, because it doesn't have Stubborn. So automatic defeating by retiring. This is another useless card. Blue seemed to not get a whole lot this set. I mean, it got some interesting stuff, but at the same time, it kind of got nothing. It's doing a lot more frightening now. But, that's sometimes not enough. You know, the problem with print and play is, everyone's got the access to all the same stuff. So now we're getting into the mains. Now let's take a look at this because this will be interesting. So we got Queen Chrysalis. Her boost requirement is pay 3 to turn this card over. And then, as an opponent plays their first non-Troublemaker card each turn, they may pay X, where X is that card's cost. If they don't, cancel that card. As an opponent plays a card, if it is their third card they have attempted to play this turn, turn this card over. So, basically, the first card is the most expensive. And it basically doubles the cost of one of their cards, which can be really good if you can get it boosted early, because, it means that they'll take longer to get active. Getting 3 AT early on, like turn 1, is not very easy to do. I think it's doable, but I'm not sure. Either way, it's a decent white main. Finally, Chrysalis gets a really good white main that I actually like the look of. Next up is Cozy Glow. If I remember this correctly, it's pay 3 to turn it over. And then Troublemakers don't prevent you from confronting this card's problem. If you would score this card's problems bonus, you may score points equal to the point value of one of your Troublemakers here instead. At the end of an opponent's turn, if they confronted 2 or more problems, you can turn it over. And then we got the blue main, which is pay 3 to turn this card over. Once per turn at the start of face-off, you may pay 1 to frighten a friend. If you do, at the end of the face-off, if you lost the face-off, turn this card over. So those are the only 3 mains I seem to have gotten. There was an orange main that had a double boosted, which is an issue. I need to consult Databyte about that. Now, he did provide us a foil, the Magic of Friendship Grows, which is awesome that we got a foil version of that, and basically another extra Father of Monsters. So I need to find out from Databyte about this card. It looks like that's about it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to, ask me anything. I don't play the game as much as I used to, so I think missing this Discord's not gonna kill me. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Take care.